So hello Desmond, I'm Jackie.
Hi Jackie.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you too.
Desmond, your wife phoned me and asked for an appointment for you. Can you tell me, how can I be helpful to you today?
Just that on Friday, when I was coming back from school, from picking up my daughter, I was with my mother in the car, and as I was driving up the driveway in the house, three guys with guns, they drove in behind me.
Okay.
And they forced us to get out of the car and pointed guns at us. And, you know, I've been to a trauma council after that.
All right.
But it was quite terrible.
So the trauma counselling wasn't very useful for you?
Actually, she kind of irritated me.
Really?
I was like really irritated. At some stage I wanted to slap her because I was like, she kept on asking me questions, the same questions.
Okay.
Like she wanted me to retell the story, and I didn't get the reason why, because it was like reliving the whole thing that happened.
So you experienced that trauma counselling as like a reliving of the event?
Exactly, because he wanted me to retell the whole thing, and this thing kept coming back into in my mind.
So it kept flashing back in your mind as you were made to retell it?
Exactly, it was as if I'm still in that same. It irritated me.
Yeah, Desmond, I can hear it wasn't a pleasant experience for you.
It actually was very bad.
Yeah, and it nearly sounds to me as if it was opened up everything you experienced.
It did indeed.
So, what would you like from me that would be different to that? How can I? Because I don't want to repeat that for you in any way. So how could we make today's session more worth your while, more useful for you?
I think as long as we're not going to talk about what happened, I mean, no offense about it,
Sure.
but I just don't want to be going back to that story again, because I've told it so many times. Yeah, and it's quite hurting.
So you don't want to tell the story like that again?
Not exactly.
And you don't want to tell the hurtful elements and relive that story like you did before?
Not exactly.
Okay. So what would you like to talk about in this session? I mean, what would make it worthwhile?
I don't really know why I'm here, because the last trauma council I went to didn't help.
Yeah.
So no offense about
No,
it,
no.
but
Yeah.
it looked as if I'm being pushed back instead of going forward.
Right. And when your wife phoned, what she mentioned on the phone is she felt that you needed to, what she called some trauma debriefing.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you kind of had that.
Not exactly. She said I need to debrief. She said I need to tell, to retell the story, but in a different way. I don't know how.
Okay. Well, Desmond, I'm a solution-focused therapist, and I want to explain that to you just a little bit so that you can understand in which direction I take my sessions.
Okay.
Solution-focused therapy and thinking, well, we acknowledge the problem and we listen to the problem, but we're also very interested in what people want out of the sessions, so that it's useful and worthwhile, and so that you don't leave here feeling, I wasted your time, for example.
Okay.
And we also, in trauma cases, we listen to the story differently. And I also ask you to tell the story differently. So I don't want to rehash what happened and create negative flashbacks, but I want you to perhaps look at the trauma from a different angle, and see things you might not have noticed you see.
Okay, like how?
Are you willing to give it a go?
I am.
Can we give it a try?
Yeah,
And see where it takes us?
let's try it.
Okay. Desmond, it sounds like you and your family experienced something that was very traumatic.
Yeah.
And without being disrespectful to you, but by trying to come in from a different angle, I'm going to ask you a question that might sound a bit absurd and strange, all right?
Okay.
But it looks like you're a guy that's willing to give it a go.
I am
at the
really
moment.
willing to give anything now.
Desmond, you say where was your wife during this incident?
She was in the kitchen. She watched the whole thing through the kitchen window.
Okay.
And I think that's when she decided to call for help.
Okay, so she saw it all happen.
She saw it all happening.
And because she made the initial phone call, I'm going to start with her.
Okay.
All right. Desmond, what did your wife do during this traumatic event that you're actually very proud of?
She actually did something that I didn't expect her to do.
Okay.
She's a very fighting person. I expected her to come out fighting,
Okay.
but instead she stayed in the house, and like she said, she saw through the window that I had it under control when I pulled my daughter behind me,
Wow.
and then she just decided to call for help.
So you're very proud of her because she actually did something that you didn't expect.
Yes, I'm very proud of her.
Her natural reaction would have been to run out
And fight.
And fight.
Yes.
But this time round,
She stayed in the house.
she stayed in the house.
Yes.
And she kept it under control.
Yes.
And what you're also very proud of, if I hear you correctly, is she then went and called for help.
Yes, she did. She called the security company.
Okay. So you're quite proud of her for staying in control and getting help immediately.
Yes, I'm very proud of that.
Okay. And you say she noticed you doing certain things, and I'm wondering if she was here, Desmond, and if she was sitting here, and I asked her, what did Desmond do that she's proud of? So what do you think you did that she's proud of?
I think she would tell you that she saw that I had it under control, and I kept on talking to the guys.
Wow.
And trying to calm them down not to hurt us.
Okay.
And I think she would say she was proud of that because I didn't seem to be panicking at the time.
Okay.
Yes.
So she'd be extremely proud of how calm you stayed,
Yes.
and she'd be extremely proud of how you were talking to the guys, trying to calm them down, so
Yes.
that it sounds like you were trying to calm them down.
Yes, because I realized that if I could be rational, they would do something stupid.
Right.
Yes.
So you were thinking while this was happening, hey?
Yes, I
You
was.
were really thinking about what would be the best reaction to calm them down.
Yes.
And your wife would be so proud of that.
Yes.
Oh, and Desmond, what gave her the confidence to stay in the house and not run out and help you? What did she see that made her think, you know what, he's got it?
She said when she saw me pulling my daughter, putting her behind me,
Okay.
she realized that, okay, I had it under control. And
Wow.
the way I was interacting with them,
Right.
she could see that I wasn't scared. I was like calm.
You were calm,
Yes.
you had it under control,
Yes, I had it under control.
you protected your child immediately,
Yes.
you were talking to them, you were making them calm,
Calm, yes.
and that all gave her the confidence to say, Desmond's got it, I must go and call for help.
Yes.
That's quite amazing, huh?
Yes.
Desmond, you said your mother was in the car.
Yes, she was there.
What did your mom do that you're proud of?
She quickly grabbed our dog by the collar when it came down to greet us.
Right.
I think she realized that if the dog were to bite them or to bark,
Or to bark,
they
exactly.
would panic and do something stupid and maybe like shoot at us. So she just hold the dog and calm him down.
So you're also very proud of how your mother assessed the situation, looked at possible things that could go wrong, so calmed the dog down immediately so that the dog wouldn't make them do something freaky or irrational.
Yes, she made me happy about that
Okay.
because she managed to assess the situation.
She did.
Yes, she really saw that one mistake from the dog would all be hurt or something.
It sounds like all the adults in your family were really thinking on their feet,
Yes, we did.
and we were thinking quickly on how to take control of the situation.
Yes, we did.
And it sounds like in your own individual ways, you each did something to take control of the situation and to protect your child.
Yes, I think we all did that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Desmond, what did your daughter do that you are proud of?
She actually amazed me because
Yeah.
she's one person who just jumps.
Okay.
But when they force us to lie down,
Yeah.
I laid on top of her, just trying to protect her, And I whispered on her ear not to do anything, just to calm. And she listened to me and she calmed down. She didn't scream or do anything.
So you're proud of your child, who's normally quite spontaneous, it sounds.
Yes.
You're proud of her that this time she really just calmly listened to you.
Yes, she listened to me.
And she did exactly what you asked of her.
She did exactly what I asked of her. And then when I kissed her, she just calmed down and then